Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Miami series. It's gonna be a Talkie Cast episode, but before that, I could have swore last time I played, which I just recently uploaded that last video, but I thought there was another one. We were on gonna go against the Phillies, I believe. That's where we stopped, and because we were close to the playoffs, but I just loaded into the game and hit record, and we're in the playoffs, but I could have swore because it was I thought I recorded because we stopped here the last video, which I recorded a couple months ago, so things will be a little dated. Same with the Roosters. I have up till the end of the season of that series recorded, and I have not recorded since June. So I'm gonna be uploading those. We'll get a little more into that once we get into the game aspect, but I don't know what happened. I thought in that video I edited and uploaded, I think it was Monday. Thought we stopped here, and I thought I recorded this game, but I scoured through my files, couldn't find it, and we're in the playoffs. So I guess we'll do a little recap of our season because it's been a while for me. Let's look at awards. Awards, figures. Also figures, none there, nothing there for us. Nope. No. No. Not seeing any Marlins. Which is not surprising, even though we are playing. Oh, what the second and third for Gold Glove behind our former Marlin, who is now an Astro, which we talk about in the gameplay because it has been a while. Yeah, fig. Wait, this happened. When did this happen in this series? When did this happen? I don't remember this happening. Okay then. Hey, he came around. Okay, league leaders. No one here. Shohei Ohtani led in hits. So this man, I mean, I get it. He virtually played the whole year, but he's gonna be out for the playoffs because of a torn Achilles tendon. What do the brackets look like? Hold on before we look at it. Dodger. So if we, because we're gonna be playing each one of these games against Atlanta. Even in this series, in playoffs, and future series, again, we're gonna talk about in the gameplay. We're gonna play all of the games in the playoffs against the teams. But if we win against Atlanta, I mean, I know the Dodgers are still stacked, even though this is a very much older save before the trade deadline. And we're, about a month past that almost in real life. There's a shot if we can get through Atlanta, we could get through the Dodgers. Speaking of things in the Rooster series that the most recent video was recorded over at the end of June. Like I said, I've recorded a crap ton of that series. It's just starting to come out. More on that. But at the end of the final one, we're not saving. I realized I was having an easier time with offense, and sometimes even on the Marlins. So I will just, because I'm going to fast track this video well before that end of the season Rooster stuff. So, like I said, there will be things I talk about that are very much months old in terms of real life things. But we were originally on All Star, so I have bumped it up to Hall of Fame and Hall of Fame, and I have been playing a lot just by myself as I have been doing stuff. We'll talk more in game, but we're up to Hall of Fame, which is the third hardest difficulty in the game. I said I've been playing a little offline. Feels a little more balanced, but then again, I'm kind of sitting further back offline on my big 55-inch 4K TV and not a 27-inch 1080p monitor. I mean, it's a good monitor, but you know, it's 1080p versus 4K, so it might still make it easy. We might have to bump it up again, but I just want to let you know now, because like I said, this video is going to be fast tracked, and you will see this change at the end of the last Roosters video I've recorded, which I keep saying we'll get more into it. We'll get more into it in later, but I will say I have recorded all the way up to the end of the season in that series in like, so I have a lot of videos. We'll get on. Anyway, back to looking at league leaders. Did we have anybody? Bats Karen, Corbin Carroll, Xavier Woods up there. Xavier Edwards doubles, triples, Corbin Carroll, home runs, definitely, probably not. We're just looking at the top 5. RBIs, definitely not. Runs, hey, Xavier Edwards, number 2. Hey, Xavier Edwards, stolen bases, number 1. Corbin Carroll, number 5, or tied for 4th with Bryce Terang. One short off the most in the majors against Victor Robles. Walks, Xavier Edwards. That's kind of surprising. On base, no one in the top 5. No. OPS, no. Wins, no. Umar Rocker, only 5 losses, though. Okay. Saves, no. Figures, yeah, no. Whip, though, leader, Shane McClanahan, trade acquisition, number 3. Pitching war, no. Hitting war, no. Okay, let's look at team statistics real quick. And while we do, don't forget, if you're enjoying the content, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Share the video. Share the video today with your mom. Share it with your mom if you're watching. And leave some comments. Try to get that interaction, because that's kind of the YouTube meta right now. So I've been doing long videos, but also interaction. So interact with me in the comments, please. I'll love you forever. Okay? I will. Now, team rankings. Where did we rank in average? 12th. Not bad. Runs. Tied for 7th. That's not bad at all either. Hits. 13th. Okay, middle of the pack, but still not terrible. Doubles, 4th. Triples, tied 5th. Home runs, wow. The Dodgers, I mean, they didn't break the record, but that's the highest I've seen in a while in this game. Granted, I don't usually look at statistics all the time when I'm playing by myself anymore. Like offline. We were 24th in home runs. Ugh. Runs batted in. We were 8th, though. 2nd in stolen bases. Caught stealing. We might have been caught a lot. Tied 27th. 67 caught steals. Stolen base percentage 5th. Team walks. Tied with 11th with the Phillies. Okay, not bad. Strikeouts. Probably had a lot of those. Yeah, but we're in the middle of the pack. That's not terrible. Slugging is going to probably be not great. 17th. Still around the middle of the league, but on the lower end, not the higher end, like say 13th that we've seen a couple of times. On base. Okay, 13th again. So we're, middle of the board, but up, We ran into a lot of double plays. Tied for 14th, okay. Assists. Oh, looks like we did not have a great defense. No wonder why we were 29th. Let's just look at our errors. How many do we have? 17th. Okay, not terrible, but not good. Bottom half of the kind of middle of the board. You know, we're trending down, not up. Fielding percentage. Yeah, so yeah, 17th. ERA. 17th. Not great. Team saves. We were tied 8th. Okay. Blown saves. Tied 15th. So right middle of the board. Hits allowed. Tied 20th. See, look at the runs. We'll start from the bottom. 17th. Okay. What does that compare to earned runs, though? Do we move up? Or we go down to 18th? I almost said 16th. I don't know why. Homers allowed. Probably not great either. Oh, yeah, 24th. We allowed 200 home runs as a team. Yeesh. Walks. Tied 13th. Okay. Middle. We're 13th in the league in a lot of places, it looks like. Third, though, in strikeouts. Okay. Okay. Do a quick little look at stats. I won't talk about it. I'll just let you pause and look yourself. You guys yourself in the comments. Quick glance. Pretty decent year. Pretty good year for Shane. Now for Yuri. See the numbers there. Pause and look if needed. Also good year. Freddie Peralta, a trade piece we got. Again, pause if needed. Not super great. Coming over. Kenzie Gore. Trade piece this season. It looks like we got. Also not that good of a season. Kumar Rocker, though. Good season. Whip's a little high. His FIP is higher than his ERA, but good. Les Burton. Our long man out of the pen. An alright season. Gregory Soto. Like we signed him. You can see real life on the Mets. Now, this guy. Negative .1 WAR. Carlo Francisco, our 49 save rookie last year, threw 100 innings. 112 strikeouts. My God. For a D potential, you haven't lost much overall. Only lost 2 points. And you are just really surprisingly good. Sorry. I had to mute myself. I had to sneeze. George Soriano. Looking at his numbers again. Pause if needed, even though we're looking there. Good numbers. Nardi. There. Really good year. Zach Jackson was our closer for a while. You see the 28 saves, but 8 blown saves. Again, not bad though. Mason Miller, our trade piece in this world. Real life on the Padres. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but you'll know where we'll talk about him. Okay, that's pitchers. Let's look at. We won't go super in depth. We'll just kind of look at our. Why are you up? roster. Remove from player. Okay, now I just gotta look around. Why are... What did they do to my roster? Okay, that looks normal. Okay, there we go. Okay, Corbin Carroll, 20 homers, 79 RBIs, 262 average. We saw the stolen bases. Good job. Xavier Edwards led the National League in stolen bases, 279, 5 homers, 75 RBIs. Wow, that's a lot, actually. Adrian Del Castillo, I remember him, yeah, average-wise, not good, but homers, career high. RBIs, career high. Go Adrian. Luis Robert. The stats look completely different now in the most recent roster update, but we will take the roster update that we used for this series. Good job. Nolan Gorman, another trade acquisition, only at 75 games, 14 home runs though. Kobe Mayo finally decided, not finally, it's kind of his first season, but kind of popped off a little bit. No, average a little low, but 19 homers, 73 RBIs. Luis Rengifo, arguably our best pickup during the off season in this series, our first one. Again, his stats look very different right now in the most recent roster update than they do now, but we will take it. I just want to see how many errors he had. Only 8 for only having a 48 fielding. Good job, Luis. Way to go. 296, 14 homers, 56 RBIs. Beautiful. Ezekiel Duran. We were thinking of maybe upgrading because we got him and Otto Lopez. We were both not hitting, and then we were like, we'll give you a shot at the starting job because I'm looking at the years here, and he decided, thank you for the starting job, and popped off. 272, average 14 homers, 75 RBIs. Sal Frelick, who we got just to just have good defense in the outfield. I thought he would hit better than he did. He hit a little worse everywhere, except for doubles and actual hits, because he played more games total. Oh yeah, good year. Good year. Other than that, I don't know what to say, so I will talk to you in game. Alright, we are in the game. Hello. Time for our talk cast. I don't know what to call this part of the series really. I'm just talking over the gameplay. So for starters, I just recently had a birthday. I am now the ripe old age of 29. It's my last year in my 20s. I haven't really recorded lately because, like I said, for Roosters, I have a bunch of backlog. This one, I don't, which is why I'm recording now. But I've been streaming a lot more lately, especially during the Battlefield beta earlier this month. And update for Twitch, I can apply for affiliate now. So if you'd love to come see me stream, I do believe I have my Twitch linked in my YouTube description. I will start linking that more now in my video descriptions. Even though I don't play MLB on there, I play other games. But I've been uploading those too, as you can see. But yeah, that's kind of been going on there. And, Like I said, speaking of the Roosters, like I said, I have a whole backlog all the way up to the end of the season. I'm also telling you right now, I'm going to be trying to upload those as often as I can. Probably trying to go once a day until I catch up. And then I'm going to be trying to go to a schedule of uploading. I'm going to try, once I get everything caught up with that series, I'm going to try to post, at least in terms of videos like this or new videos, because we're going to talk about maybe a new series in a sec. But I'm going to try uploading Monday, Wednesday, Friday to just kind of keep a regular schedule, keep me moving. Because my stream schedule, I usually try, I mostly stream when I feel like it, but I try to keep to my schedule of streaming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that could interfere with the editing process. But I'm going to try for a schedule here on YouTube especially once I get caught up with the Roosters. Like I said, I'm at the end of the season with videos on that series, and not to spoil anything, but there are going to be some twists and turns, and it's kind of spoiling it, but not. I can't wait for you guys to see how the end of the first season of that series ends. It's a wild ride, and I hope you enjoy. Now, like I just mentioned, new series? Question mark? Yes, not right now, because I don't want three. I guess I could. I might, but I'll probably wait till after the Miami series, which is why I'm actually back recording, so I can get a bunch of this and hopefully, get an ending to the series. But I'm thinking of another series on MLB. I'm thinking of taking one of those cheaper teams that aren't really good. Like the Mariners are cheap, but they're good. Which, side note, I've tried to record a rebuild video with them to, after the trade deadline to get them a World Series. I gave up after 8 hours of recording because for some reason they just couldn't do it. So I gave up. I'll be honest. I will try again, probably. I guess that's technically a third series, so I guess I should say it. Maybe I don't want 4 quote-unquote series. Even though it's not really a series, it's just more of like, hey, let's get this team a championship. Anyway, I'm thinking of a new series probably after the Marlins. In taking one of those teams that aren't very good and don't spend a lot, rebuilding them, but sticking to a budget. Like, I would have to get, put layouts in, keep track of money, make a budget that I can't go over. Make it really hard, like they do, but try to build a team to go all the way to a World Series. Through drafts, through trades, keeping young pieces in and out. I haven't decided what team. My first initial thought was the Pirates because, they're that way and they haven't been great for a while. But then I also realized it might actually be pretty easy because they have Paul Skeens, Jared Jones, doing offline stuff. Mitch Keller has continuously in franchises gone from like a low 80s overall to in a few years up to 90. I know with the most recent update, I think Bubba Chandler got a overall boost because he's in the majors now. So I don't think it's the Pirates because the Pirates might be easy because they just have such good young starting pitching. All you really have to do is build an offense around them. The strikers for the Phillies. But then, I also think the A's could be easy. Uh, the Athletics, because they kind of have a decent offense. He's older than their core. You got Brent Rooker, who is really good. Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson, um, Nicholas Kurtz. I'll say his full name, not his short name, because you know they got him. They got Tyler Soderstrom. They got Shea Langeliers. They have an actually really good offense. It's just the pitching is bad, and they play in a minor league park. Now I know I could easily switch them to a Vegas-made park that someone has built, but like I said originally in MLB 24, the show, I haven't played in any custom stadiums on 25, but from my knowledge, but from my experience from MLB the show 20, I think they started the stadium creator 22, so 22, 23, 24. No matter what you do, even if you lower the elevation of the stadium you're creating, it's just super easy to hit home runs in created parks, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. I suppose I could throw them in an old classic stadium if I did Oakland, but I feel like Oakland is a little too easy too, just because again the hitting. But then I look at the Rays, and they have decent pitching to build around. Baltimore has a decent offense in that regard, and they spend money, but like cheap money. So I don't know. I have to decide a team. Maybe you guys in the comment section can help me decide a team. I would say the Marlins, but hey, we're doing the Marlins right now. I don't want to do back-to-back Marlins teams. I look at the National League West. I mean, there's Colorado, but they weirdly spend money, but still aren't great. The White Sox are kind of bad all around, but at the same time, like, I've never heard of them having budget restraints. It's just that they are just really bad, so it could be them. Like I said, National League East, I think, like the Rays have good pitching, Baltimore has good offense. I mean, there's the Angels in the AL West, but again, they don't have real budget constraints because they have Mike Trout making all that money. I mean, there's the Nationals, but again, that was a strike. What? The Nationals, but again, I don't think they have budget restraints. I think they're just trying to develop their young pitching before they go on a bit of a spending spree to add to it, or not pitching, their young core, to see what they have to then add to it. Because I mean, you got James Woods, who beast mode. And Mackenzie Gore had a hot start to the season, cooled off a little bit, still good though, still good. So I think they're just waiting to spend a little bit once they kind of get their core kind of where they want it to. National League Central, I mean, there's the Brewers, but they're good. Cardinals aren't good, but they like to spend not a bunch of money, but they spend money. There's there's the Reds, but they've got some bigger contracts. It's just that their owner is one of the more, I say one of the poorest MLB owners. He's still like a multi-hundred millionaire. Something I will never sniff in my life is that much money. But he's one of the least rich owners. But I mean, like, they spend a little. They extended Hunter Green a few years ago. They I mean, he's with the Phillies now because they opted out, but they spent a big contract on Nick Castellanos. So, again, I don't know the team. Maybe comment below what team you would like to see that where I do a rebuild, but do with it in a confined budget for the team. Because I said I know the A's are one, Rays are one, Pirates are one. Baltimore is kind of one they spend, but they don't spend a lot. Like I know they just extended Sam Basayo, who you saw on our team. I don't remember how we got him, but you saw him on our team. They just signed him to an 8-year contract extension, but it's only worth like $68 million. So, we are not doing great at Spencer Strider so far. But I mean, like, just let me know in the comments. Anyway, baseball talk. It has been a long time since we've talked about baseball. And I'm going to be talking about older things, just like I said earlier. We're about a month past the deadline. But, things have happened. Let's start off with the one for me closest to home, probably had the biggest trade deadline. The Mariners. They got Gino, they got Naylor. A smaller trade, they got Caleb Ferguson from the Pirates. No, they went big. They're all in, and they're still within striking distance of the division. I think they even won today against the Padres, winning the Vetter Cup 5-1. I think they won 4-3. I mean, they're definitely better at home than they are on the road. They just got back. This is their second series at home after a horrible road trip. Road trip, but it was. They had the best. They added what they needed in an offensive third baseman. Not to say Ben Williamson is bad. He just has a really high ground ball rate. He needs to hit more line drives, hit the gaps. Like I hear people say, you gotta get the ball in the air, hit homers. Which, yeah, but playing in Seattle, when you're not in the summer months, you can't hit home runs. If you can get the ball in the air, line drive in the gaps, you're good. And that's what he needs to do. But they got Gino to add power, which they definitely needed. They got an actual first baseman in Josh Naylor. That would have been a strike for the Braves ump. Sorry. They got Josh Naylor, who, from the Diamondbacks as well. Which the Mariners needed to extend yesterday. Because they traded Locklear, kind of their only first base prospect, to get Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks. So, they don't really have anything at first base. So, they need to extend him pronto, in my opinion. Yeah, extend him. I think it would be cool to extend Gino, but if they can only have the budget to extend one, Naylor is the bigger priority. Because, again, they have no first baseman after him. Whereas, they let Gino go, yeah, it sucks. But they got Ben Williamson. I think their prospect, Colt Emerson, can play third. Their top-end prospect. So it's not like they don't have options at third. Would it be cool if they kept both? Absolutely. But if they can only keep one, I know Gino brings the good vibes, but Naylor's the priority. They need him, and they need him to stay. And that's the Mariners. Other big trade deadline team, Yankees. They went up and stocked their bullpen with guys maybe the Mariners should have gotten because they need. I mean, Caleb Ferguson is fine. They could have used someone a little better. But they went out and got Anthony Bender, Camilo Duvall, and Jake Bird from the Rockies, Pirates, and Giants. And I don't know how they're doing now, but their first game with the Yankees blew a giant lead, and the Yankees, for the first time in history, got swept by the Marlins. And a big part of that is in Game 3, Bender, Duvall, Bird blowing the Yankees' lead. In fact, the Yankees even sent Bird down to the minors, down to AAA at one point. I think he's back. I don't know how they're doing now after their first game with the Yankees, but first game was not a great debut for them on the Yankees. The other big team, the Padres, oh my God, they got so much. They got our closer in this series, Mason Miller. They got Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano. They got, I think that was it for the bigger ones that I can remember. But no, they went crazy spending, overpaid like crazy. Not saying Mason Miller isn't bad. No, he's one of the best closers in the league, obviously. But they gave up their number 1 rated prospect, who I think was number 4 in MLB Pipeline on the top 100 prospect rankings. They gave up him for Mason Miller. Padres, they just overspend. I mean, I get it, because you want to be good now, but like, holy cow. Wow. And, well, to be fair, their acquisitions have been working, though. Ramon Laureano has been hot. I think I saw on MLB Network last night. I think he's played, what is it, like 20 games for him now. Scorching hot, Ramon Laureano. And, you know, the Padres have been good, so good as to now they're, I mean, maybe not now because they lost the series against the Mariners, but they were at one point, they passed the Dodgers for the NL West. I don't know the standings now, but they were at one point in the lead in the NL West, or at least tied. And I'll check now, actually. Padres. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. Take the pitch. Switch them. They're 1.5 back, so they're the same games behind the Dodgers as the Mariners are behind the Astros. No, that Mariners are now a game behind. But no, they're close. Their acquisitions are helping. Braves kind of sold a little, but also bought. I don't know where they're in the standings. In our world, we're fighting in the playoffs, as you can see. But other than that, I don't really remember much. I know the Red Sox. I don't remember what they added or sold, but I know right now they are not great. They traded Devers to the Giants early, and now they are, I believe, the number 1 wild card team in front of the Yankees and the Mariners. You know, they got a complete 180. They are one of the better teams in the American League now. extended young Roman Anthony, which is good. Which is really good. He's their star. One of their young stars. Garrett Crochet. And, I think they're dangerous. They've got a shot. I know right now, watching Mariner Mojo, they always talk about it. I think right now that the Mariners have budged their way recently since the trade deadline, and at least how they played at home, they've nudged their way into like the second best odds of making a World Series out of the American League. I think is where they're at right now. I would look that up, but your phone and stuff are always watching, and I don't want a bunch of gambling ads to start popping up on my phone on various social media platforms. But I think that's where they are. The last time they said something was that the Mariners are the second best odds to make the World Series from the American League. Which is kind of surprising, the way their pitching staff has been this year. It's weirdly been their offense has actually been arguably better than their pitching staff, which is still, I believe, a top 10 starting rotation in the league. But I think last year they were like number 1. And I think maybe right now they're like maybe number 9, 10, which is still good. But that's a heck of a fall off. Go from 1 to 10. But hey, that's why they should have went after one of those bullpen pieces that the Yankees got. Or whatever. Anyway, Braves still not great. Mets, I think I said earlier in this series, in one of the talking videos, like I'm doing now, the Mets were in the lead. This was earlier in the season. They were leading the NL East, and they have fallen off quite significantly. They're still good. Like I said, I'm almost certain they will still make the playoffs. But they were at once ahead. They are now 5 games back of the Phillies, who I did predict to win the NL East. And it looks like they're gonna. Yeah, the Braves are, looking at the Braves are 61-72. And they are tied with they're a game behind Miami for 3rd place. In real life, Miami is actually, now the records aren't good. In real life, they're 62-71. But that's surprising. Other NL East teams, like the Phillies, great. You know that. They just lost Zach Wheeler definitely for the rest of the year in the playoffs, and also potentially the way it goes for what I can't remember what he has, so I'm not gonna attempt to say anything, but depending on what version he has and how the surgeries go, it could potentially be the end of his career, which I hope not. I hope it's not. I hope it's good. The surgery goes well. It's not the worst version of what he has, and he can. Because I remember correctly, I heard MLB Network talking about how if it's the easier of or someone, I don't know if it was MLB Network, but it was someone. If it's the lesser of the two of what Zach Wheeler has, it will only take the off season for him to recover, and he'll be good to go. It's I think Merrill Kelly, who is on the Diamondbacks, or was on the Diamondbacks, now on the Rangers. I think it's what he had, and I think it's what he had and Strasburg had, and I think it was Strasburg, and Kelly had the not as bad version that Strasburg got, and Kelly's back, and he's been very good and very consistent for the Diamondbacks over these past few years. So let's hope it's that version that Zach Wheeler has, and he can just take the off season after getting the surgery, rest, recuperate, get back pitching like normal. Because I tell you, he is the right-handed version of Chris Sale before Chris Sale finally won his first Cy Young. Zach Wheeler has been close so many times. Like, even with the injury, I think he'll still get number 2 behind Paul Skeens, who will probably win it this year. So I hope he can come back healthy and hopefully win one. Because Zach Wheeler, especially since coming over to the Phillies, has just been so good. Has been runner-up so many times. So, Zach Wheeler, I hope it's the not as bad version of what you were diagnosed with, and I hope you come back strong next year and continue to pitch well like you have been. Nationals, like I said, and kind of describe them in the next series I'm thinking about doing. They're just young, need to develop more.
No, inside.
National League Central, kind of talk about the Pirates. They have good pitching. That's really it, at least in the rotation. Brewers are arguably right now the best team in baseball. They right now are, I think, the favorites to come to the World Series out of the National League, is how good they've been. Like, the start of the season, the first 2 months were bad, and now they are arguably the hottest and best team in baseball. It's crazy. They are just so good. They're first in their division, and the Cubs have fallen off. And Kyle Tucker for the Cubs started the year great, has fallen very bad these July and August. In fact, I think just the other day, he finally hit his first home run this season in August. He didn't have a single home run in the month of August. It was like almost like a 30-game stretch, I think, for him without a home run. And he just finally I think he hit 2 in the same game. But it's like, wow, what happened, Kyle Tucker? Everybody was thinking, start of the season, every MLB broadcaster, analyst on TV was like, the Cubs need to extend this guy ASAP. And now it's looking like it goes right now where they're like, should they extend Kyle Tucker? Which is crazy, because Kyle Tucker is arguably one of the best hitters in baseball right now.
Leading off for Miami, first baseman Cody Mayo.
Cardinals, they were at the, Cardinals, they were at the top for a bit. They have fallen back like they usually do. They did sell a bit, I believe. I don't remember who they got rid of. I know they got rid of they designated Eric Fetty, I believe, at the beginning of the month, and then the Braves picked him up, and then I think they just also DFA'd him themselves.
1-1.
Other trade pieces, I don't know. I know they sold some, and they didn't sell some that they should have.
1 ball, 2
But
strikes.
they're bad. Pirates, like I said, good pitching.
2 balls,
That's
2
it.
strikes.
Reds, I think the Reds are... Now, it's the 3rd spot, but I think they're in the wild card hunt right now. Hunter Green has been good. On the pitching side, in the rotation. I know offensively, all right, Ellie De La Cruz still doing his thing. That's all I really know about the Reds. Talk more about we'll go to National League West now. As I mentioned before, Padres, kind of big deadline. Dodgers, don't remember what they did. Those two are battling at the top right now. Diamondbacks and Giants. Giants were arguably the team that were looking like they were going to fight the Dodgers for the division title. And then they got Devers, and while Devers has played his part well, that's a bomb. He's played his part well. The team has not been great as a whole since getting Devers. Like, what is going on? Like the freaking Red Sox do horrible. Trade Devers, become one of the better teams in the American League. The Giants get Devers. They were one of the best in the National League at the time. Now they're not one of the best National League teams. So that's crazy. And then the Rockies had a weird... I mean, I still think they might tie or even break the White Sox record from last year. But there was a time where, I think it was June, where they won a series against an actual good team. I can't remember who it was, but they won a series. They were kind of cooking for a bit, but then they fell back into what the Rockies do, which is not great, unfortunately. But yeah. Other than that, not much else to talk about in the National League. Go to American League East here. Baltimore. What the crap happened? I mean, I know they needed pitching, but crap is the word. And another, in a bad way, holy crap, Yankees. We talked about, the trade acquisitions that happened almost a month ago, about them getting those 3 really good bullpen pieces. What happened to them as a team as a whole? They were leading the division by quite a bit, and now they're the second wild card team. Like, they have the second wild card in 3rd place in the East behind the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, which, holy crap, in the a good way, the Blue Jays, where did they come from? Like, holy.
Nope, ball 1.
I think at one point they were, in June, they were 7.5 back. And now they're leading the division by, we'll check here in a sec.
Ball, that's just out.
Sorry, the Baltimore Red Sox are playing right now. Yeah, they lead the Red Sox and Yankees by 4. They have just quietly kind of came out of nowhere and now lead the division. Rays were up there at 1.2 and then they kind of fell off. Orioles were never close, but the Yankees are still right as of now in the playoffs, and they still probably will make the playoffs, but they were kind of destroying the East, and now they're kind of not. Right, speaking of the Rays, like they were up there, fell off, but Junior Caminero is having a great season. Let's just hope he doesn't fall the way of another young he's a former Ray now. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's really good, and I don't think he will go that way. And they should do the same and extend him, because my God, he has been amazing. He's one of the guys they need to spend money on. For sure, to keep for a long time. Because, my God, he is an absolute superstar, Junior Caminero. And we just gave up the lead, because that circle change was not where I wanted it. Alright. What are we going to do then? Other than that, not much to talk about else in the American League East. American League Central, Tigers, still number one. Definitely still the number one team in the American League. There was a bit where they were faltering a little. In July, they've definitely pulled it back a little bit. Still good. Didn't quite get the upgrades I think they needed. I felt like they needed a third baseman, and the big one that they wanted went to the Mariners. And other than that, I don't know what other moves they made. So yeah, Tigers are still good. They're number one in terms of record right now. I still think the Blue Jays and the Mariners are better. But, you never know. It's baseball. Baseball's a crazy sport. Oh, yeah. Royals, they're 9.5 back. They're 2 games above 500, 68, 65. They're in a wild card hunt, I believe. Wild card 3, which is crazy to say because wild card 3 is technically the Mariners right now, and they're a game back from the division lead. But, they're there. I don't think they have the same pitching as they did last year. Even though Cole Reagans is good. Or not to say pitching. I should say same offense as they did last year. Definitely need to bolster that offense in the off season a little bit. But they'll be back. They'll be back to good. They got Bobby Witt. They have Cole Reagans. Mikel Garcia has kind of blossomed this year into a good player. So they got stuff. Just need to bolster that offense a little more. Guardians, they're kind of meh. It's mostly because of their rotation, which is usually one of their strong suits, has not been particularly good this year. Offensively, though, Stephen Plum's still pretty good. Jose Ramirez still most underrated player in baseball. He's gonna have another MVP caliber year. I don't top 10, maybe even a top 5 MVP year, because he's just so good, and no one talks about it. He's just so freaking good. But I think Kyle Manzardo has had a pretty good year for Cleveland, but and speaking of their pitchers, Clase Ortiz, like yeah. Although that's not just them. That's happened kind of around the league with some other teams. Like what is going on? Like why are we gambling, bro? Like you're making more money than the average person, and you're potentially blowing your career. Now, I get it. I don't think it should be banned for life. I definitely think there should be a suspension, but also at the same time, like, when you're everywhere, and not just, MLB, but NBA, NFL, NHL. Now, granted, I haven't heard of any NHL players gambling and getting investigated. I know recently, I think Michael Beasley, I think it's how you pronounce his first name, Michael Beasley, was investigated, but the investigation was dropped because they found no evidence. But he was being investigated for gambling. I know a few years ago, Calvin Ridley, wide receiver for, I think, my favorite team, the Tennessee Titans, I think he's still there. He was suspended for a season from gambling. But anyway, and so it's not just a them problem, but and I've said this before, and it's kind of hard to avoid it when all these networks are like, yeah, today's game brought to you by FanDuel Sports Betting. So like you're telling the players not to bet, not to bet on yourselves, or I mean, I guess in baseball they're doing more. They're rigging games to squander bets, and I'm assuming in that case they get part of the profit. But when you're kind of seeing everywhere sports betting, it could get into your mind to where you go, I kind of want to go bet on some sports. Like I don't know. It's just wild that these guys making millions upon millions of dollars are potentially throwing away their careers by betting on sports or doing certain things to make a prop bet hit. It's like why? I would so gladly be fine with making $3 million a year or something. That would be amazing. And you're just potentially throwing it away because you're like, you know what? They said I get part of this prop bet if I throw a first pitch ball to every batter I face. Like, what? If you don't want your money, give it to me. I'll take it. My family will take it. Hey, you audience members, you'll probably take it too. So I don't understand. I don't get why I swung at that. Oh my god. But I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Don't. Twins. Oh boy, they sold virtually everything. I think after the trade deadline, they only had 17 people on their main roster out of 26. They went a bit cray-cray. They went absolutely realistic, which I have been doing an offline rebuild of them by myself, just for fun. Because, you know, I like to play this game for fun, too. Even though I'm not saying making this content isn't fun. You know, I like to do it for myself.
No, he's safe.
But yeah, Twins, they just sold the farm. White Sox, they are still, they're just terrible. They are just terrible. And you know, that's Central. West, we just gave up another. No, thank God. Holy cow, that was almost bad. Let's that's not one. Let's get him. Let's get someone warming up. Let's actually look at the lineup that's coming up. Switch. Right, left, right, left. I don't know who to put in. So look at the numbers. They are worse against righties. So we will work up. We're going up here. But American League West, Astros, still somehow good, which is crazy because I don't know about. I mean, I know Hunter Brown for them has had a really good breakout year, and was it Valdez, Framber has had a good year, but other than that, their rotation hasn't been, as far as I know, that great. Their bullpen has been okay, but I think I just, before recording, I had my TV on as I moved my Xbox to over here to my PC from my TV. That Josh Hader is going to be out for the rest of the year with a shoulder injury of some kind. And so, you know, that could be bad. I don't know how the rest of the bullpen is doing. But, you know, they're, I mean, I think offensively he's turned it around, but defensively, I think the experiment with Altuve in left would be over. I mean, I know they got Jesus Sanchez in real life. So, you know. But I think that's over. Jordan Alvarez has, I don't know what his injury is, but he has been out the majority of the season. And I don't know if he's back yet or if he's close to back or not. They've had injuries and everything, and they are somehow still first in the West. Like, they got Christian Walker. He hasn't had a good season. He's been okay as of late, but still not great at first base. I don't even know who's playing second base. Jeremy Pena has been good offensively. I know they just got Carlos Correa back, and he's playing third for them because Isaac Paredes is out for the season. I think with an ankle injury of some kind. I don't know, but I know he's out for the remainder of the season and the postseason. No. But I know he's out indefinitely.
Ball, that's inside.
But they've just been there. They have just been there. I don't know how.
One ball,
You
one
know,
strike.
talked about the Mariners, their trade deadline, they've been good. Rangers. They have Merrill Kelly. Other than that, they have been crazy. Their pitching has been phenomenal. Maybe not as dominant with the strikeouts as he was when he was younger, but Jacob deGrom is back. He is healthy. He is good. Like I said, maybe not the same overpowering strikeout stuff from his younger years, but he's shown he can still throw 100, but he doesn't. He's just been more, I guess, pitch to contact, but he's back. He's good. The whole pitching staff as a whole for the Rangers has been actually surprisingly good. It's just their offense has been bad. Like I know early in the start of the season, their only real offense was Wyatt Langford. I haven't heard much about him lately. How he's doing. Corey Seager, all I've been hearing is he's been off and on the injured list. Adolis Garcia, heard
Got him.
not great. Josh Jung, I think was hurt, but then they send him back down to the minors. I think he's back up, but they had to send him down. Their catching core, Jonah Heim has fallen off. Kyle Hishigawa, also surprisingly not, maybe not surprised, but not a great year. I don't know what's going on with the Rangers. I guess they won the World Series good, but like I said, Simeon also bad. Has not been great this year. They have kind of they've turned into the Mariners this year. Great starting rotation, bad offense. I don't know what's going on with Texas. Angels are bad, but they fought at the trade deadline. They got some relievers. They got some offense. I think they got Oswaldo Peraza from the Yankees. I think this is. Pretty sure I know his last name was Peraza, but I can't remember his first name. But they got him from the Yankees. They got some bullpen. They got Chafin. They got some other bullpen pieces because they were close to Wild Card 3, and they were like, yeah, we got this. And Angels, I'm sorry, but you don't. You don't got it. I'm sorry. And then the Athletics. We talked about them a bit. Good offense, not great in the pitching department, especially now since they got rid of Mason Miller. So,
Nope, that's a ball.
there's that. And that's, I guess, kind of fast. We talked about every team there. So let's go. We still got a month left. We'll do my playoff predictions. Who I think will make it, who will not. And I will say right now, for me, American League, the teams that have the playoff spots now will make it. So, Blue Jays leading the division, AL East, they make it. Red Sox, Yankees, they make it. Tigers, make it. Astros, Mariners, make it. There's really I really don't think the teams behind the Mariners for Wild Card 3 don't really stand a chance of catching up. Unless the Mariners or the Yankees or the Red Sox have a horrible month of September, and the Rangers, who I think are behind the Royals, who I think are like 4 games back of Wild Card 3, have good Septembers. I think now it just depends on the Mariners and Astros where they go, if it's wild card or division. But I think even with a month to go, you can lock in the American League playoff holders right now as playoff teams. Especially because what Cal Raleigh's doing. We didn't really talk about him with the Mariners. So quick shout out Cal Raleigh. Oh my God. MVP. Sorry, Aaron Judge. I know you're technically having a better statistical year with your advanced metrics, but Cal Raleigh broke the record. He's what,
Nope.
5 home runs away from breaking Mickey Mantle's record of the most home runs by a switch hitter in a season. He's 8 away from
That's
beating
outside.
Mariners all-time record holder Griffey. I mean, it's possible. I think he'll definitely break Mickey Mantle's record. So, Cal Raleigh, MVP, which I guess I can do awards to. That's my MVP. Anyway, back to playoffs. Like I said, teams that are holding a playoff spot right now, I think we can pretty much just lock in as the playoff teams from the American League. Now we go to the National League. That's a bit different. Look at the standings to kind of see. So right now, like I said, the division leaders are Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers. Actually, Brewers are continuing to be good. They have the best record in baseball. They're 83 and 50. I did not know that. But right now, I'm looking. They're the same as the Royals, but they're closer. We're looking at the wild card teams. Wild card teams right now are Mets, Cubs, and whoever doesn't win the division between the Padres and the Dodgers.
All one.
I threw that. You just didn't see me. But the reason I'm saying don't lock in those teams, even though it's kind of the same as the American League. Like I said, the Reds, they've got a sneaky shot, I think, honestly. Because where I kind of discount the Royals, like I said, unless the Mariners, or if the Mariners take the division lead and the Astros start turning south, or the Yankees or Red Sox start turning south in the wild card. I don't think the Royals can catch up because I just don't think they have, besides Bobby Witt or Miguel Garcia, they don't really have the offense. But I think the Reds do. They've got a pretty decent rotation led by Hunter Green. They've got a decent offense, Ellie De La Cruz. I think Tyler Stevenson, the catcher, is having a pretty decent year. I don't know about TJ Friedel. I know at the start he was kind of hot. I could have cooled off, but I just think, plus because it's Citizens Bank Park, or I'm hoping it's still Citizens Bank Park. I don't know if they changed the name. They're changing them so often, like whatever the heck the Astros Park is called now that we're using in the Rooster series, Daikin Park or whatever. Minute Maid so much better. But I think their offense has got a shot to help them.
All one.
Like I said, they've got a shot because, like I said, Mets are still 10 games over 500, but they have quite quickly and quietly kind of been falling off. Even though I know recently talking about the Mariners road trip, they bested the Mariners 2 games to 3. But oh my God, we just tied the game. But I don't. Other than their bullpen, I don't know if the Mets have the starting pitching. I mean, they got Senga, who's good, and they've gotten some good years out of their guys, but I don't know if it's good as the top of the rotation of the Reds with Hunter Green. And I know Soto has bounced back. It's still not his best year, but he's bounced back, and Pete Alonso has cooled off, and I know Pete Alonso is I don't know. All I'm saying is I think the Reds could be a sneaky third wild card. I think they could do it, honestly. I think even though the Mets or the Cubs have had a bad skid, and the Padres and Dodgers are kind of fighting each other over there. I think they'll make it. I think the Cubs will bounce back because I know they've had some injuries in the rotation. I think Managa has recently come back in the past few weeks, so that'll help the Cubs because I think he was out for a bit. So, they have their kind of, at least one of their top of the rotation guys. I just don't. I don't know about. To be honest, don't tell Giraffe Neck Mark, but I'm skeptical on the Mets now. I mean, I think I said earlier I think they'll make the playoffs, but I forgot. Well, I guess because I didn't realize we were gonna finish kind of talking about the rest of the league so early, and I'm kind of looking at it, remembering Hunter Green, who I think helped the Reds beat the Dodgers the other day. I think the Dodgers, of course, bounced back with the other game or two, but I think the Hunter Green start, they might have won the Hunter Green start, but it might have been against the bullpen. But I think at least against Hunter Green, the Dodgers couldn't really do anything. And if the Dodgers can't really do anything against Hunter Green, I'm taking back my early assessment of thinking the Mets. I'm okay. I'm not gonna say. I still think the Mets make it, and I am gonna kind of lock in the division leaders and Mets, Cubs, and whoever doesn't win the division between the Dodgers and Padres. But in my opinion, don't be shocked if the Reds storm through September and push the Mets. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. I think they got a shot. Honestly, I think they do. I do. I was trying to choose who I want to come in. Yeah. And then in general, who do I think is going to come out? Of each league, I think we'll go, because I don't have a bracket. I don't know how to set that up. So let's just jump World Series. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Brewers and the Mariners. Like, I would not be shocked. You think it's going Sharks. That's crazy. You predicted the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Padres, Phillies. That's who you're locking in for playoff spots. How could you choose the Brewers and the Mariners? Choose the Brewers and the Mariners because Brewers are factually, for like the past 2 months now, the best team in baseball. They just are. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. They've been better than the Dodgers. They've been better than the Phillies. They've been better than their own. They've been better because they took the lead from the Cubs. They've been better than the Tigers, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Mariners, Astros. They have been the best for like 2 months now. And I say the Mariners because if they can either win the division or somehow just get more wins to get the wild card spot won, they are better at home than away. And if they can ride having home field advantage in a series or two with the offense, and then the cooling month of October, temperature-wise, knowing the ballpark, and with kind of who they would rely on in a playoff series for their rotation, like I would opt, like, for a series number 1, they're starting Brian Wu. He has been arguably their best pitcher this year. Because, I mean, he hasn't been hurt, but he has been their best pitcher this year by far. I'd say Logan Gilbert 2, right? Logan Gilbert 2. And then surprisingly, number 3, even though he's shown flashes, I would say Castillo over Kirby right now, honestly. But that's just me. But I would say Castillo over Kirby. But you could also throw Kirby in there. I wouldn't be mad. So you throw in that pitching rotation with how actually good the offense has been with Cal, now Naylor, Gino, Julio is finally showing second half Julio. Randy Arozarena having his best offensive season of his career, at least in terms of power. The other day he hit his career high 24th home run, and he's probably not done. I don't know if he gets 30, but he might hit 28 or 29. Cole Young has been pretty good since they called him up. J.P. Crawford has bounced back again offensively. Dominic Canzone right now is good. They just got Victor Robles back, but they're probably going to lose him again because of that suspension and because of stuff he did in the minor leagues. I forgot to take out him, by the way. But so, offensive outfield. Of course, Cal Rob, Gino, Josh, Cole, JP. They've got a good offense. They've got good pitching. Their bullpen has been a little not so great. But Brash has been mostly good. Nunez has been really good. I just think if the Mariners can stay hot, even if they come in as a wild card team, they stay hot. That offense mixed with the 1-2-3 punch at the top of the rotation that you can rely on in the playoffs is almost better than anybody's. I see it. I can see it. I can see those two teams. That's coming from someone who, I've said many times before, is a Red Sox fan. I like the Red Sox. I am so glad they're back and pushing the playoffs. And I know they've had some actually good years from other rotation members, but they don't got a number 2 behind Crochet, who, if it's not Skubal winning back-to-back Cy Youngs, it's Garrett Crochet. If the voters are like, Skubal doesn't need back-to-back, it's Crochet. Crochet is the other Cy Young for the American League, and it is not a question. Like, there is no debate. It's Skubal, Crochet, and if it's not one, it's the other. But they just don't have any. They have a good young offense. Roman Anthony has been good. I don't know how. I think Jalen Duran's doing pretty good. Cedane Rafaela has having a breakout year. Bregman, he was hurt for a bit. He's back. He's still good. I'm sure he wants to stay because I know it's a player option, and I guarantee he doesn't want to give up $40 million a year. But I'm sure he'll probably want to rework the contract to stay longer because he has had even after the injury, he's had an amazing season in Boston. Sadly, Marcelo Meyer, I think, is hurt for the rest of the year. But Trevor Story has actually bounced back a bit. He's having a not terrible year. Christian Campbell forget how to pronounce it. They extended him too. He's only 22. Second baseman. He's been okay. First base is kind of a hole for them.
That's a ball.
Catcher though, I always forget his name, but he's kind of blossomed a bit into a pretty decent offensive catcher. Chapman has been lights out in the bullpen, but other than that, bullpen's been kind of meh for Boston. So, like I said, I know you're shocked going, what? He's not picking
One ball.
Boston? This Boston Red Sox mega fan? No, because besides Crochet, they have good starting pitching, but they don't have a defined number two. Like, there's no, oh yeah, this is the guy who can help us in a game
Two
two.
balls, two strikes.
Oh, like, not saying like Brian Bayo can, but like there's no definitive like 1A, 1B, or maybe even like one close to. Like the gap between Crochet and the next best pitcher is quite large, in my opinion. Not saying they're bad, but it's a quite large difference between Crochet and the next best starting pitcher. So
No, ball four.
I don't think they got the pitcher. Yankees, they've had some good pitching this year, specifically from Max Fried taking up after the Tommy John for Garrett Cole, but especially as of late, as you saw when Judge went down with his injury for a week, he's the offense. Oh God, Judge is the offense.
Ball and one.
If Judge isn't there or Judge isn't hitting, the rest of the Yankees lineup kind of doesn't do anything. Now, of course, Aaron Judge could absolutely 100% carry the offense to a World Series. There's no doubt in my mind.
Out on the tag.
But that's a big if. That's a big if, asking one man to carry an entire team on his back offensively. It's a big ask. I just don't know if I can do it. Astros, they just injury and I mean I know their offense has somehow been good. I know they brought back Carlos Correa and stuff, but losing your big back end arm, not good. I think they, like I said, they do have a better 1-2 punch than say the Red Sox or even the Yankees or Tigers. But after that, who's the third guy you rely on? Like I said, defensively this year in a lot of spots has not been great because they still have Altuve out and left. Not great.
Outside.
Christian Walker offensively, not great. Couldn't even tell you who their other outfielders are in Houston. So, I mean, there's always a shot if Alvarez, Jordan comes back. Because, he's their best hitter. One of the best hitters in the league. But like I said earlier, I don't think he's back. So it's hard to judge. But I don't know if they do. I don't know if they go anywhere. Shit swung. Tigers. I mean, you got the best. All right, you got the best pitcher in the league in Scooble. But then who do you go to? Do you go to Flaherty? He's had an okay season. Do you go to Casey Mize? He's had a decent season as far as I know. I know early in the season he was pretty good, but as of right now, I don't know how his season has been going. I know early on he was pretty good. You go Mize. I think Olsen has been hurt, and I think he's hurt for the rest of the year. I don't think you go Matt Manning. I mean, they're like I said, you go Mize or Flaherty after Scooble, but then who do you go after that? And then, so I just think the combination of pitching lineup, the Mariners got the best shot, and that's the same with the Brewers, which is crazy to think because you think, oh, the Dodgers. Yeah, but they've had so many injuries too. I mean, I know they're winning, but they've been super limiting Shohei. Roki Sasaki, I still don't even think is back on the major league team. Kershaw's older. Older. Yamamoto's been good. I don't know. I haven't heard much about Tyler Glasnow this season or Blake Snell. I mean, I know they're on the team, but I haven't heard much about them. So I don't know if they're being good, they're having good seasons or not. I think they might be injured. Maybe that's why I haven't heard about them. Don't know. Sure, the lineup is deadly, but Mookie Betts surprisingly not having a great year. Freddie Freeman's having a good year. You know, Shohei obviously is. Will Smith is the second best catcher in all of baseball. Sorry, Dodgers fans. Cal Raleigh's number one, and I think it's close. I mean, it's not far apart, but it's not close either, in terms of how good each of them are this season. Like, it's not far, but they're not close. Teoscar is okay. Andy Pages is having a good season, so they're having a good offensive year. I just don't know about their rotation or their bullpen because I haven't heard much about it, honestly, this season, except for Shohei coming back and Yamamoto probably, I don't know about now, but I know for a lot of this season he was arguably Cy Young number 3. He could potentially become number 2 just because the aforementioned Wheeler injury, and he just won't have the games. So he could end up finishing 2, but I know for a while he was probably at least number 3 behind Wheeler in schemes. I don't know where he's at now.
0-1.
So I don't feel good. I don't feel. I just don't feel. It's weird. I don't feel good about the Dodgers. And that's even though I don't like the Dodgers, and this is not coming from me not liking them. This is just me saying they've had so many injuries, and I've hardly heard anything about their rotation other than Shohei and Yamamoto. So I don't know what their pitching looks like. I know their offense is good enough to carry them. But I don't know about their pitching staff. I don't know about their rotation. I don't know about their bullpen. I'm being subjective here. I don't know these things. I don't know that. So I can't definitively say they're still the favorite to go in. I don't know. I know about their offense. I don't know about the pitching.
Ball inside.
I say no for the Padres because while they've improved their offense and it's been great, Cease isn't having a good year. Michael King, I believe, is, and we just lost the game. Michael King isn't having a good year. Another changeup down the middle, not where I wanted it. Alright, Michael King is having a good year. Cease is not. I don't know about Darvish. I don't. Does Joe Musgrove still even pitch? I don't know what happened to Joe Musgrove. And I don't know about the rest of their rotation. Mets know for what I said about the just them in general with the rotation, with the wild card stuff. Phillies have a shot because even though they lost Wheeler, they still have Sanchez, Suarez, Nola, who I forgot. I said Yamamoto is number 3. Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies. He's going to get Cy Young votes too. He has had an amazing season. So, Phillies are definitely a threat to make the World Series because even though they lost Wheeler, they do still have really good starting pitching. It's just the Brewers, they just do stuff that just helps them win. You know, Peralta, the Woodruff's finally back. Mizorowski now. They have a lights out bullpen with guys you really don't even know their name. They're just sorry, had to sneeze. They're just so all around good. It's hard not to pick them. But I can see the Phillies pushing them and getting a World Series berth because of I think the Phillies offense is better. But just the pitching staff and the the rotation, the bullpen for the Brewers, like how they win games is keep the score low, and they don't even, which is weird for their home ballpark. I don't think they have very good power numbers, but they just keep the score low, pick and peck at you with base hits, get runs. They just find ways to win, and I think they got it. I think they got it. I'm just gonna keep talking over this now because I kind of already talked over the end of the game. We lose. I kind of expected as much. I didn't actually think we were gonna win, even though my team gave me hope. Two mistake changeups by our pitchers, not where I called it. Kind of the difference maker, especially there at the end. But hey, it's our first. It's our first season in this rebuilding playoffs. I didn't think we were ready to push. I mean, I'm saying that as if I'm not gonna play game 2 and 3. Maybe not today. Well, maybe later. I might record them. We'll see. But I don't. Like I said, I don't think. Even though we're a playoff team, don't think we're ready quite yet. Our rotation is good. Could still, still be better. There's definitely some options in the off season. If we don't win the World Series, we could go after. Bullpen is fine. Could use a little upgrading. Catcher for now is still good. Mostly is offense. Like Kobe Mayo had a good year. We'll see how he does. If we don't win, I'm saying this as if I know we're not gonna go to the World Series. You never know. When I record the next 2 games against the Braves, we could win and move on, and then we could win it. And then what I'm saying now is irrelevant because we somehow won our way to the World Series. But I did, playing even on the small screen, I definitely think, yeah, for now, Hall of Fame is the difficulties we're staying on. Because it was felt close. I didn't feel overbearing with offense. Didn't fit. I felt good pitching, but there's mistakes are made, so we're gonna keep the difficulty settings for now. But I know offensive first base could be better. Hoping Kobe Mayo or maybe even Brian Clifford could pop through. Second, I think we're okay. Third is good for now. I mean, here's our DH because we got shortstop second. Outfield is where I think we can maybe make the most upgrade, even though it's got 85 power now. I don't know. I'm thinking in the future, like I'm saying, I know we're gonna lose. Who knows? We might not lose. We might even not to see our guy who was number 3, I believe, in the draft, who fell to us at 7. You know, he could be the savior. I mean, he's been out this entire season with a dislocated ankle, but look at his attribute gain. It's crazy. He's gained 4 in contact versus right, 3 in versus contact at left, 3 versus power versus righties, 3 power lefties, vision up 4, discipline up 4, clutch up 3, bunt both up 3, durability up 3, fielding, arm accuracy, reaction up 3. And he hasn't even played a game because he's been hurt. He hurt himself. So who knows? As I'm sure you can hear in my voice from all this talking, I'm kind of losing it. So I'm going to go for now. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching again. If you liked it, leave it a like. Subscribe if you're new. Share the video with your mom. Leave some comments. Interact with me. And end of the video comment. If you watched all the way through, comment pumpernickel. Pumpernickel. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.